Here we go with this bullshit again. Can't make a fucking video about someone interrupting me. It's fucking awesome, man. It's a classic on this channel. I really can't get shit done here. I have to go to my friends in a little over 3 hours, and I have this video, another video to make, a TV show to watch, a YouTube video to work on, like a prep work, and music to listen to. So, like, what the fuck? I don't know. I don't get it, man. I don't quite get it. But moving on, Quinn, Miller, and Dexter arrive at the Hamilton home with a warrant to collect a DNA swab from Ed Hamilton. Obviously, he's the guy they found, like, the sperm at the crime scene, so they have probable cause to pretty much, like, search and seizure. So, yeah, and his son acts really fucking weird. Yeah, Ed's son, Zach, tries to insert himself into the detective's questioning, and you get a weird thing about this kid from the get-go. Like, something is wrong with this kid. He's trying to hide something, and it's so clear, you know? Dexter misses a call from Deb, like, while he's doing a questioning. As Dexter's leaving, Zach approaches him to ask about his analysis of Norma's murder scene. Like, dude, you're just making it worse for yourself. You're making yourself look suspicious. Like, I don't know why the hell this kid is, like, coming up to Dexter. People underestimate Dexter all the fucking time. I guess, like, you know, people don't know Dexter. I get that. But, like, my God, this guy's a fucking mastermind. Do not mess with him. Don't try to press his buttons and manipulate shit. It's not going to happen. Dr. Vogel is at home listening to the song Make Our Own Kind of Music by Mama Cass, and she gets abducted. So that happens. Deborah can't reach Dr. Vogel by phone, so she leaves a message that she needs to talk and will be coming by. So she goes by the house, kind of worried about Vogel, and she finds glass. She finds glass, chairs on the ground, everything. And it's like, yeah, she struggled to escape an abductor and failed, obviously. At Yates' house, the police discover 6 bodies buried in the backyard with their graves marked with rose bushes. Now, obviously, everyone knows that A.J. Yates did this. He's the brain surgeon. Now they need to find the guy. Now it's just a big old manhunt. So, yeah. Deborah shows up at the crime scene to tell Dexter about Vogel. Like, this is an emergency. Obviously, Dexter tries to kind of push her away. But she's like, no, man. Like, you gotta, no, bro. Like, you gotta help me here. Vogel has gotten kidnapped. Dexter asks why she didn't let him drown, and she says, I saw the car going underwater. I knew you were going to die. I couldn't imagine my life without you in it. And they kind of come to this realization, like, this is the genuine car ride that Dexter thought they were going to have, you know, when she drove them off into the fucking water. But, yeah, which is kind of funny, honestly. It's kind of ironic. They find Yates' log of the houses in which he's recently worked. You know, he puts cable in a fuck ton of people's houses, so now they're looking through his logs, seeing where he could possibly be lodging alongside Vogel. Elsewhere, A.J. Yates angrily questions Vogel about the man who broke into his house as she desperately tries to reason with him. And she's trying to kind of use her psychological kind of techniques. Like, she's very good. She's very manipulative, but sometimes in a good way. You know, she's able to de-escalate a situation very well. And I guess that's kind of what her character adds to the season. So, yeah, that whole thing happens. They have a big discussion. I don't really feel like going into detail about some of those discussions, but there you have it. Miller mentions to Quinn that one of them will be promoted to sergeant and asks if it will ruin their friendship. And Quinn's just, like, nonchalantly kind of going through the motions with this thing. Because, yeah, he wants to be sergeant, and yeah, he wants to get a promotion. But at the same time, if he doesn't, it's not the fucking end of the world. He's still a very valuable member of Miami Metro, so, like... And Miller, like, she's not that big of a character, so obviously she's not that loved around the department. So there you have it. A vendor tells Quinn and Miller that he spotted a guy who drives a Porsche at Norma's place near the time of her murder and identifies Zach Hamilton from a photo. Now, obviously, it's funny because they were at the Hamiltons' house and they found a Porsche in the front. There was a Porsche in the front driveway, which I guess is kind of like a foreshadowing in a way. While Masuka and Nikki are ordering lunch at a food truck, he asks why she sought him out. And she kind of tells him what happened when she was born, kind of her life, her childhood. You know, obviously Masuka wasn't in it because he didn't, like, have sex with this girl, so there's really no reason for him to be in the girl's life. But, yeah. She kind of talks about his childhood, blah, blah, blah. Dexter realizes it would take days to find which vacant house Yates is holed up in with Vogel. And they're trying to narrow it down. He's trying to ask Batista about this guy a little bit more, and yeah. Yeah. Quinn tells Matthews about Zach and says the vendor has suddenly changed his story and supposedly can't remember anything. You know, being in like a fucked up area of town, like a lot of those people, and we saw this with like the Santa Muerte case, a lot of people are very hesitant to snitch on other people because it could end very badly for them. And maybe he got paid off. Maybe he got threatened to not say a damn word. Maybe word got out that he was talking to the police. And yeah, obviously no one's having that in the Matthew or in the the Hamilton family. Deborah is looking for Yates' hideaway and has Elway help eliminate certain types of buildings in the Morningside Park area, but she won't reveal the reason why. She's kind of doing her own thing outside of Elway. Masuka drops by Elway Investigations and asks Deborah to privately investigate Nikki. He wants to kind of have a background check, make sure she's up to something good, and to make sure she's not gonna like fuck him over in his like later in his life or something. Like, you know, all that happens and blah blah blah. They kind of have a discussion about what's the moral thing to do here, yada yada yada. Dexter arrives home to find Jamie, Quinn, and Cassie preparing for dinner. Obviously, he forgot they had plans, and he's planning on going out and getting Yates this same night, and Jamie is being a bitch because she's like forcing him into having this double dates, and he doesn't want to do it, and he's trying to like find a way. He pulls Cassie to the side because obviously she's interested in him. She's gonna do what he says, and he tells her, you know, hey, I gotta go. Just tell her you have something in the morning. Like, get me out of this, please. Like, take care of Jamie. All that happens, and Dexter's able to leave. Dexter picks up an impatient Deb, and they begin to look for Vogel. Meanwhile, Yates prepares to break one of Vogel's toes, which is obviously one of like his big MOs as a killer, and she like slaps the fuck out of him, and it's fucking funny as hell. It's almost like comical how stupid that is, that this like old woman is like smacking this dude around. I thought it was kind of funny. Maybe that's not a good thing, but yeah. Vogel decides that the only way to control him at this point is to take drastic measures. Yeah, kind of like orders him around. She's trying to get out of this situation. She knows she's going to get out of this situation because she knows ways to manipulate this man. So yeah. Dexter's looking through the window of a house when he receives a call from an unknown number. She calls him so like the line can ring, and then they ask Elway to trace it, and they trace it to 157 Montgomery. So there it is. There's the location. Vogel is fucking Mrs. Smarty Pants because she gets herself out of this situation in that way, which is kind of crazy. Seems to be winning them over. They kind of overhear things. So soon Dexter and Deb arrive at the house and bust open the door, only to find no one in the living room. They continue to look around, and they finally find her upstairs. She's in the bedroom closet, gagged. She's bound by duct tape, all this stuff. And yeah, so they... And yeah. Hold on, let me think. So Yates was hiding under the bed like he did as a kid, which is fucking cool. Yeah, I like how the show kind of adds like those MO things. He was hiding under his bed, and then Dexter like stabs him with one of the bed frame like spikes and kills him, which is super unique, really fucking cool. That was one of the cooler parts of the episode. And she's fine now. She can go live her life. So back at her house, Dr. Vogel thanks them both for saving her life, and they talk about the matter a little bit, like who went wrong, what happened here. Because she likes to reflect. She's a psychologist. It's very understandable. So during the night, Dexter brings Deborah and Vogel along as he dumps Yates' body from the slice of life. And this is a pretty pivotal moment of the series because it's Dexter bringing these people into his dark world, and it's such an interesting thing to witness. And yeah, it's such a cool touch on this show. So I don't really have much to say.